This video is sponsored by Miller's Farm Services. Are you thinking about more power for your tractor? Most sizes and brands can be tuned. Check out millersfarmservices.com for more information. Link in the description below.
Hey everyone, how's it going? So I'm here in the shop and it's pouring rain out there. As you can tell, it's just beautiful hay weather. But I have actually got up some hay, so I'm not going to complain. I'm very thankful for it, but it's very little hay, but I did get up some hay. But I'm here in the shop and I want to, y'all will have some videos of that too. Not a lot of video, but mowing, baling, no raking or tedding, but mowing and baling, you'll get some of that. I'm here in the shop because I have something I want to show y'all. Some of you probably already seen it on my short and probably figured out what it is, but that's all right. I did get another tractor. It is my tractor. I did purchase this one. It's not a demo. And well, let's just get to it. I'll show you what it is and I'll try to explain why I went this route. But here it is. It's a Massey Ferguson. It's a 40. It's a 5711 Dyna 4. So it has the Dyna 4 transmission, which is 16 speed, 4 ranges with 4 power shifts. I'll show you right here the model number and everything. This is almost exactly like the tractor that I demoed. It was a 5711, but this is not the tractor. This is the tractor that they got in after that tractor. Once they sold the tractor that I demoed, they had this one already on order, and it came in, I guess it got there a month or so, a couple months ago, maybe not quite 2 months ago. So it's been on order for a long time, and they told me they didn't even know when it would come in, and I actually found it on my own. They didn't let me know it came in. But I was actually in the process of buying a 5115 or 5125M tractor. I really wanted an R, but they can't even order an R now. They're saying maybe you could start ordering them again next year, but right now, absolutely no orders for R series tractors. You can order M's, and there was already an M tractor on order at James River Equipment that had basically everything I wanted on it, and it was going to be there in August, I believe it was, but it was extremely expensive. It was around $110,000 set up the way I wanted it, and it's not as big as this tractor. Its base weight on it was 8,900 and some pounds. The base weight on a 5R is 9,100 pounds, and base weight is without a loader, fluid, or anything. It's just a shipping weight. And this tractor, the base weight is a 10,100 pounds. So it's a heavier tractor to start with. And I was able to get this tractor for 97, actually under 97,000. And that, kind of swayed me towards this tractor. Bigger tractor, the loader will lift more. If you get the self-leveling loader on the 5M, it's rated to lift 3,500 pounds. And that was one of the main things, the main reason why I wanted this tractor. And I actually sold my 4700 to my dad, so it's still here, but I was going to trade it, but he wanted it, so he bought it, and the money went straight towards this one and some more, of course. But so the main reason for upgrading from the 4700 is rated to pick up 3,500 pounds, and with the tie grabber, it's so heavy, that tractor just struggles with it. I mean, like when you're bouncing through the field, the hydraulics get overpowered for the tilt, and it'll actually let the front of the tie grabber down, so I'm constantly having to roll the bucket back to compensate for that. So, and I was just afraid that I was going to just damage something on the tractor just treating it like that all the time, keeping it under a full load, bouncing through the field. So I wanted a bigger, heavier tractor. I didn't want to go to a 6 Series, one, because they're so expensive, and two, I mean, I'd love to have another 6 Series, but, you know, I would like to have a 6 Series, but it's just expensive. So, like very expensive, like 150,000 probably for what I want, and an R and everything, and all that good stuff. But I did demo the 6715, but the PTO was messed up the whole time. That was a Massey Ferguson 6715S, which is a premium series tractor. It would have been a pretty good buy, but the more I thought about it, all I really need is a tractor to handle the tie grabber better. I don't really need another tractor that can do everything again, you know, like mowing and pulling the spreader, which this tractor can actually do some of that as long as it don't get too carried away, like steep hills, stuff like that. This tractor, it can kind of dip into that a little bit as a backup, but you know, not a full-time use. That's what I got the 6R John Deere to do. So this tractor is going to be, it's either going to be on the square baler or it's going to be on the tie grabber. And if this one's on the square baler, the John Deere will be on the tie grabber. I've got it wired to work the tie grabber now. So that's something new for this year. It might do some moving hay instead of just baling all the time. This one might do some baling. Actually, it will do some baling in a future video. And it'll do some mowing in a future video. So be on the lookout for that. It actually has already done a lot of work. It's been here for 3 weeks, and I spent most of that time wiring and setting up things how I want it. But yeah, it just worked out that this tractor showed up while I was trying to buy a John Deere, and I went and looked at it, and I told him I went and looked at it on a Friday evening, and I told him I would take it on a Monday morning, and told the John Deere guy that I was sorry, but I'd come up with something, you know, maybe that suited my needs a little better. The 5M I was looking at was going to have the new Power 8 transmission, which would have been nice to have 32 gears, but it still has to shift manually between the ranges. It had an A, B, C, and D range, and had 8 gears in each range, but you had to manually shift each of those ranges. So that still would have made it a little more difficult for my wife. If she was baling with that tractor, she would have had to manually shift ranges, which she does not like to do in the bigger John Deere. So yeah, I like that this transmission's all electronic. There's no manual shifts. It was a better value, and I know these tractors are pretty solid because there's a lot of them out there. And then I have the 4710, which has been an excellent tractor, and it's got 1,000 hours on it. But that tractor's been basically trouble-free, and I love the cab. I love how it rides, and I love, you know, the way it fits me in the cab and everything. And this tractor's basically just identical to it. And so yeah, let's look at the tractor. And I know I've talked a lot about other things, but let's look at the tractor here for a little bit and talk about it. So the tractor is not completely ready or finished. The dealer has things on order that they can't get. One of those things is the third function valve, which this tractor only offers a diverter valve for the third function, which is totally fine with me because most of the time it's really difficult to operate more than one or operate the third function and the curl at the same time anyway. So for running a grapple, a hay grapple or a brush grapple, a diverter valve works pretty good for that type of work. Running the saw, like the limb saw and stuff, makes it a little bit more difficult, but it's not the end of the world. And if I wanted to do a lot of work, I could get a WR long kit and put on it, but I've used the 4710 one so much, I'm just used to a diverter anyway. So the diverter just fits under here, and then you get hoses that come out, and you get some couplings here, and the wiring is already in here, and it's already wired in the tractor. So basically it's plug and play. You just hook up some hoses and hook up some wires. They're supposed to be getting that for me, and I was going to install it myself. So this loader is rated to pick up 4,500 pounds, and that's what I was getting at a minute ago. The John Deere loader is still only rated, when you get the self-leveling version, which is what I want because it keeps the hay level as you raise it up and down. The John Deere is only rated for 3,500 pounds with the self-leveling model. Now you could get it up to like 41 or 4,200 pounds if you get the 540M non-self-leveling. But I wanted the self-leveling, which knocked the weight lifting capacity way down. This loader is rated to lift 4,500 pounds to full height, and it's self-leveling. It has the Euro style quick connect. It has dual ways to disconnect. You can pull this lever or you can pull this lever and it'll disconnect. So I do have an adapter coming to go to skid steer style to go on it. It hasn't got here yet. And I have a new bale spear that goes directly onto global. It hasn't got here yet, but it's on the way. Another thing that is missing, and I really miss, is the front fenders. They're on order. I actually have the fenders themselves. They're right here in this box. But I have no bracketry to mount onto this part here, which has a spring-loaded device that actually keeps the fenders from turning towards the tractor. When you turn and the back of the tires go towards the hood of the tractor, there's brackets and with springs in them that keep the fenders from actually turning with the tire when they go that direction, to keep the fender from hitting the tractor, which allows you to be able to turn shorter. And you can adjust the steering radius on these tractors by adjusting this bolt right here. It's a little dark in there, I know you can't see, but there is a bolt there you can adjust that I've already adjusted to get a lot more steering radius, or a lot tighter steering radius on this tractor. And you can basically pick the front of the tractor up with the bucket and articulate the axle. You know how it does this? Articulate it all the way, turn the steering wheel all the way, and see how much clearance you have both ways. And you can adjust it to where you can just barely get your finger in between the tire and the frame at any point, and it will not hurt anything. The joints are designed to turn that sharp. They're double joints, they're CV joints. So you can get a lot more steering radius out of not only Massey Ferguson tractors, but John Deere, New Holland tractors typically have that on them. So you can adjust that. Okay, so anyway, you can get get it to where it'll steer where you like it. When I first got this thing, you couldn't turn it around in a 40-acre field. This tractor, you cannot get LED lights on it, but if you notice, I've already got LED lights on it because I just can't stand the lights that come on these. They're not very good, and I've already changed them out. Those are the Thomas LED lights that I put on like I put on the back of the 4710. Super bright lights. I have the floodlights down here, and then I have the 40-degree trapezoid on the cab that'll shoot out a little farther, and I have the floodlights on the rear. So that is super nice to have the LED lighting. I wish they would just go ahead and have that as an option from the factory, because this tractor deserves it. It's a good tractor. All these Global Series tractors are pretty solid tractors overall, and they need LED lights on them. That was one thing you could get on the John Deere that you couldn't get on this. But basically everything else came on this tractor. It was optional on the John Deere, which was what made it so expensive. It has a good heavy 3-point hitch. It has the buttons. I've went over a tractor just like this. I'll put a link to that tractor if you want to see every little detail. I'm just going to kind of browse this one. I've added these already. These flip caps, they come with the little rubber plugs like this right here. These are actually the ones that come off this tractor. They're laying here. I hate these things. So somebody else is here. Anyway, I have the wheel weights in the rear, and they came on the tractor. Well, they were ordered on the tractor, so I didn't have to mess with all that. There is fluid in the rear tires. It does not have a multi-coupler here, which I may add one later, but typically I don't take the loaders on and off my tractors all that often, but it is nice to have that option. The John Deere did have that I was going to get, but this one doesn't, but it is an optional thing that I can get. All right, so here's another one of your Thomas lights, and these Thomas lights came from larsonlights.com. You can get them there, and they also have little pigtail wiring harnesses and everything you can buy to plug in all different types of plugs, but most of the time I make my own. There is a little cubby hole right here in this loader. That's got the owner's manual and stuff in it. So that's a neat little thing. It has the mirrors on it. They come standard. This tractor has a 4.4 liter AGCO power engine in it, and it's 110 horsepower, which is not enough, but it is what it is. You can resolve that with tuning, however you feel comfortable about your warranty about that, but you can change this engine up to about 140 horsepower, which would make it very nice. Let's put it that way. All right, let's get in the tractor. There's not really anything different from this tractor from the other one that I demoed, except for just a couple of things that I'm going to highlight here because it's new for 2022. But I did want to show that I have already mounted the business radio and the moisture monitor and the preservative applicator control box, which is basically just a switch and a potentiometer dial. I made a bracket for this one just like I did my 4700 series tractor. Actually, I made the one in the 4700, and my uncle made this one while I was working on some wiring and antennas and things. I actually have GPS set up in this tractor. That's what this ball's for. I have the wiring for the GPS and the GPS antenna right here. So all that is ready to go. I have the New Holland / Trimble FM 750 GPS I can put in here. So I also had them install a Sirius XM radio in here, so it's already XM compatible. I did not have to add my interface over here for the Sirius XM. So this tractor, it does have 540, 540E, and 1000 RPM PTO. That was one thing that the John Deere did not have. It had the 540 and 540E, but it was not ordered with the 1000, and that was something that I was kind of disappointed about. Well, then they said they could add it to it, but it was like $2,500 just for the parts to add it to it, plus labor. So this tractor also has the creeper gear. The John Deere did not have the creeper gear ordered on it that I was going to get, but it was as close as we could find without ordering one from the factory, which was going to be even more expensive than the one that was coming in. Now, there was a couple things here I had to change to make the tie grabber work. I want to throw in some clips of where I had all this apart and was wiring, but the soft ride on this loader, which is this loader suspension, as some people call it, it was on a switch up here on the front. And on the 4700, that switch did not do anything. The soft ride on it is mechanical, where you had to actually go outside and turn a valve on and off to turn the soft ride on and off. This tractor is electronic. You could turn it on and off from the cab. But I wanted the tie grabber, the fourth function on the tie grabber, to be on this switch like I had it on the 4700, so you can just keep your hand on this lever while you're operating the tie grabber, and you can switch it between grapple mode and tie mode without having to take your hand off the lever. Okay, well, in order to do that, I had to take the soft ride function off of this switch, and I moved it down here to a flip switch. Because I hardly ever turn soft ride on and off, but I could still do it just by leaning over and hitting that switch right there. That's on position, and you flip it off for the off position. So I still got that going, and then I've still got the tie grabber up here on the joystick. There's a plug down under here that you can get to, and I think I show that in these clips I'm going to show you right now. Okay, hopefully by now I have revealed this tractor to y'all. It's 5711 Dyna 4. Here it is. It does not have front fenders on it yet because they're on back order. So is the third function. I've got all this up here taken off because I am trying to rig up a way to hook my tie grabber on to one of these existing wires, and I have got it figured out. And right here is where all those wires go, is this plug right here. Also, there's a power and a ground in this plug. So I am wiring up a switch, whatever I did with it. I'm going to put a switch right here in this switch panel around this loader stick. Geez, I can't think. Anyway, and that's actually going to be for the soft ride. Right now, or factory, the soft ride is on this little toggle switch right here, and then this button is the third function. It's a diverter third function, so it only uses one button. You hold the button in and then actuate the lever left and right, and it works the third function, which actually works pretty good for most things. It's not a live third function. But anyway, I want to actually have the tie grabber fourth function on this toggle switch that was the soft ride, which makes the loader ride better, and I'm moving it to just a toggle switch down here because I don't use it very often anyway, and then if I want to turn it on and off, I still can. So I'm switching all that around here. There's plenty of wiring out here. I mean, they already have this thing set up to this is the soft drive solenoid. I'm pretty sure that the third function solenoid will go replace this right here, and there'll be another solenoid on it, and this wire right here goes to that button. This right here is going to be the new wire that will plug in here, and this wire will go to my tie grabber to actuate it. So that's how all that's going to work. And there's actually a spare wire up there if you ever need to do something else. So in here, it's a disaster right now. I mean, I've got all this pulled out. All this wiring is every which way, and I'm trying to get all the wiring that I need in here for my radios. Here's the mounts: radio mount, moisture monitor mount, wiring for GPS. I'm gonna have the GPS probably mounted on this door pole right here. I'm running some wires up to the radio for some extra speakers that I may put behind the seat. Yeah, I've got the T-handle pulled out. I've got everything pulled out over here. So it's basically a disaster. I've got what I'm doing over here is adding
on one side of the panel, I've got one of these plugs. I don't know if you can see it right here. I'm putting, this plug is going to come out, and it's going to be hot power all the time. And then there's going to be another plug. Where did it go? Right here. This plug right here, like this one, is going to be keyed power, and it's going to power the radio and the moisture monitor. The other one is going to power the sprayer for my crop preservative or hay preservative. And yeah, I'm getting the power right here. I made this wiring harness. These right here are things that I did. I put sheaths on them. They're double wires. They call them zip wires. They're two, a black and a red together, made that way, and you can zip them apart. But I got the power off the power socket. These tractors have a big power socket you can hook some implements into in here, and that's what I got the power from. And then I got one extra wire. This is going to be a hot and a ground going out behind the seat, where I'm going to put the extra speaker that's probably going to be mounted on the back of the seat, like in the John Deere 4066R. I like that thing. And anyway, so I just got a lot going on. I got all new LED lights for it, all 4 front ones, and I've put one on the rear. That's still the stock light right there. Right here's the new Thomas light, and if you've seen that video, I'll put a link to it. When I put those on the 4710, it made the biggest difference in the world. But I got all the outside work done. I already got the antennas on. I don't know if you can see up there, farther away you get, I can't see nothing, but I've got the radio antenna there, the satellite radio antenna. The dealer had mounted it on that bracket, and I moved it to the cab. And then I have a magnetic GPS antenna up there. I've got all that done, and the cab's done. I just got to get all the interior done. It's a lot to do. I mean, I still got a lot of wiring to do, but I'm getting closer, because this has been bothering me about figuring all this out to run the tie grabber, but I've got it figured out. I just got to finish it. So anyway, yeah, talk to y'all later. Okay, hope y'all enjoyed those clips. What else can I show you? I've showed you all this, and the function of this transmission is really simple. You have power shifts 1, 2, 3, and 4, and to shift the range, you hold this button in and push it. It goes to goes to the higher range or the lower range. You can shift this transmission with the power shuttle lever by doing this, which is super nice, because you can have one hand on the loader joystick and one hand over here, and you can shift gears. I know some tractors have shiftable gears on the loader joystick, but if you already have your hand over here, also, you don't really have to have one on the loader stick, and you can still change gears without taking your hand off the loader stick, which is nice. It does have the upgraded cup holder. It's got a nice storage area. The John Deere, the only storage area in here was actually down here behind your feet. It was a nice one, though. You could put a chain or something in it, but there was actually no storage to put like stuff like you would put up here, like gloves or rag, or there was nowhere to put something like that. We got a buddy seat. Of course, the John Deere would have had that too. This has the Vizio roof, and I like that they put the metal guard over top of it in case something falls, a tree limb or something, which I have had, rotten stuff fall while I'm cutting limbs and stuff, and hit that, and everything was fine. That was on the 4700. It has the same setup. Now, the difference in this tractor and the tractor that I demoed, or my 4700, this is the new 2022 model, and it has a different air conditioner system.
So if you look behind my head, you'll see this honeycomb grill instead of the old louvers that flapped open and closed. This right here is part of the new system. It's a whole lot bigger, and it pulls a lot more air from inside the cab. It also has a whole lot larger fan because it blows in here. I mean, it blows hard. Even on one, you got a lot of airflow. And they changed the filter on the outside of the tractor. Is now a big round filter that seals better. It's not the flat filter anymore. If you have one of these tractors, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, another thing they added was these right here. These turn off the defrost to the front windows. Now that was something the 4700 was lacking, and I complained about to Massey Ferguson one time when they called me to ask me what I thought about the tractor, which I like it, most things about it, but this was one thing I told them that needed to be changed. Was you need to be able to see there's vents up here, there's vents up here, and there's vents up here, which is great to defrost the window in the wintertime, which always run your air conditioner in the wintertime to defrost your windows. I know it sounds crazy, but it will defrost them a lot faster at fog. It will defog them a lot faster, and it'll keep them defogged. So run the air conditioner, and that will help you, even with the heat on, yes. But you couldn't shut this off in the 4710 or any of these Vizio roof tractors before this model. And what would happen was when you get late in the evening, with the cold air blowing on the window, you would start getting condensation on the outside, which would actually start to block your view. It would come in to like here, and it would block being able to see. And sometimes I'd actually have to run the windshield wiper. It would get so bad late in the evening. It would still be hot, and you need the air conditioner, but it was blowing that cold air on the window, and that's what was causing the condensation. So I am so glad that they done that. They put one on each side so you can cut the air off to the defrost. And that also forces a lot more air to stay right here and blow on the operator. And the one thing I don't like about this system is it made it a whole lot more noisy on any setting but one. I'm going to turn it on. That's setting 1. Setting 2, 3, 4. See, it got quite a bit louder, but they used a whole lot bigger fan. And most of the time, you only need it on 1 to keep you cool, 1 or 2. I mean, it was almost pushing 90 degrees the other day when I was doing hay. Super comfortable in here with this new air conditioner system, and I only had it up on 2. And on 2, you can't really hear it with the engine and everything, baler and everything running. Now, you put it on 4, you can hear it. But 4 will freeze you to death. So, that's about all there is to talk about that's different on this tractor. I'll say I'll put up a car over it in a little more detail. And you may want to look at that video if you're interested in this tractor. Also, if this tractor, if you don't think it has enough horsepower, once your warranty is out, or if you're not worried about the warranty so much, you can tune this tractor with, you can go to my sponsor, Miller's Farm Services, and he can set you up with a tune for a tractor like this, and you can safely add about 30 horsepower to it. But yeah, you may want to wait till warranty is out. That's probably what I would do. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video of my new tractor. I've been enjoying my new tractor. I'll enjoy it a lot more once I get it completely set up like I want it with the fenders and the third function valve. But I have it mostly set up how I want it now, and I'm really, really pleased with it. And yeah, so hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe if you would please, and we'll talk to y'all later.